One, it is Ray Gauthier with my buddy Adrian Scott, and we are back again with another weekly update. I don't know, did we miss the one last week? I think we did, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I mean, I got plenty to report on what's going on with my measly little life. What about you? What's your latest little creation that you're putting together today?
Well, actually, yeah, just prior to doing this, I was shooting my video where I'm going over the chapter 15 of the book of Acts. So I'm hoping to have that edited and up for Monday night.
Oh, good. So I'm safe to put something up tonight then?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Because I don't like to put them up at the same time, as you know. We don't want them conflicting. We want people to get the full enjoyment of what we upload without another one sitting there. And yeah,
Yeah.
it just doesn't. You already. I don't have to explain it to you. You know.
Yeah. Well, and I've been trying to keep to that Monday and Thursday thing. I know I did kind of an impromptu video yesterday, but that's just because it was a rather special day, being Yom Teruah. And
I liked it.
surprise of all surprise, the girls actually came up to me and asked me to do something with me. So that's why they kind of appeared in that video. They asked.
And
I didn't push them.
they did a good job too. They really did. I was really, really impressed.
Yeah.
I I love Abby. She's just holding up the little sheet, right? She's got the cue sheet, right? And I think Autumn did really well too.
She did. Abigail did a very nice Vanna White there, kind of holding the sheet of paper and highlighting everything. And Autumn, I wasn't planning on having her read any of the scriptures that I wanted to cover, but she specifically asked and said, "Can I read one?" And so I went with Numbers 29 because it was a single verse, but she specifically wanted to do it. They all wanted to get in on the shofar blowing.
Yeah. We're having a glitch issue again. Are you having the same problem on my end?
No, everything's looking okay to me at the moment.
Okay, good. Let's hope it stays like that, because it could be on my end. I don't know what kind of a connection I got over here.
Yeah.
So as for that, I really liked it how you were blowing the shofars and you had her blowing that. So I'm gonna have to get the one out of my storage locker. I've got two. I've got the big one and I've got the smaller one that you gave me.
Yeah.
But they're in my storage locker, and I really should have that. So when I'm going down the highway and someone annoys me, I'll just kind of stick my head out.
Yeah.
That'd be sacrilegious in my opinion. I don't think I'd want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
but
I have 4 shofars because I mean, if you notice, Autumn didn't actually physically have a shofar, but 2 of them they're fairly small. They're actually ram's horn shofars, so they're a little more traditional, but they're very difficult to blow. Like
yeah.
they're very hard to blow, and the girls just weren't able to do it. And so Autumn just kind of went with her little fake thing there, and Abigail blew hers, and I like to use the kudu. That's the big one.
Yeah, and I liked their little bit at the very end. That was kind of cute.
Yeah.
It's almost like you had a little blooper in there or something, right?
Yeah.
So that was excellent. I guess Kristen really liked that.
Yeah, well, she actually was the floor director for that one. She was manning the camera.
The director. So that's what it's come to now. She's directing you now. Okay. Right on. Good.
So I hear that you're going to be doing this diet. I just happened to see your last little video there. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that, but I just wanted to say that diets are such an interesting thing because you really have to find the ones that'll work for you. So if this works for you, I really hope that it works well for you.
Yeah, well, this is a carnivore diet, which is
Yeah.
just meat and only meat. A lot of people add bacon into that or ham, but you don't have to do that. So it's like any kind of beef, fish, eggs, chicken, no greens, no fruit, nothing. Because technically, I've been listening to some specialists on this that there's a lot of greens and a lot of and fruit actually turn into glucose. They turn into sugar when they get into your system. So the whole point of this diet is to remove any kind of sugar from getting in. There's going to be some natural sugars that are going to be in some of the foods, the meats, but this is going to actually remove any of that. And apparently the results are incredible. People are being cured of diabetes, tendinitis, um, carpal tunnel,
Yeah.
leg cramps, all the little things that I'm dealing with. Plus, it's also great for anxiety, relieving anxiety, stress, depression. It apparently just gives you ridiculous amounts of energy. People are getting up, like when you know how sometimes you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I don't want to get up. And apparently, people cannot wait to get up in the morning. They feel energized and they don't even need a coffee because there's no coffee on that diet either. The only fluid is this water, which I don't mind because I'm not a big coffee drinker anyway, because I don't need the caffeine in the morning. Some people
Yeah.
need caffeine in the morning. I don't need caffeine in the morning. As a matter of fact, if I have certain caffeine in coffees, I get really bad anxiety. So I have herbal tea and I won't put anything in it. So I'm pretty sure I can get away with that.
Yeah, well,
Um,
herbal tea is effectively just flavored water. I mean, there's really
yeah,
nothing in it. So, because I'd
yeah,
gone over that with a couple of nutritionists, and they said herbal tea is a free pass because there's nothing to it. There's no calories to it. There's no
yeah,
sugars or anything. It's basically just a lightly flavored water.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I've talked to a couple people about this, and I've met some resistance from friends, and they're like, well, I'm telling them certain things. Well, that's not going to be healthy, whatever, And I'm like, just support me through it. We'll see what happens, right? Let's
Yeah,
find out, right? Let's find out how well it goes. And I've just been watching a lot of videos left and right, and just nothing but phenomenal results. And my
yeah.
phone's getting warm, so you're going to have to bear with me here. I can't. Hold on a second here. It's very warm out here. You don't want to
Mm.
start? It's very, very warm out here. It
Is this
is.
part of our update that your truck is just broken down?
Let's hope not.
You're getting it live, folks.
No, I got to run a little bit of the air conditioning because it's very warm in here, and it's
What?
running, and the phone is getting hot. So if you
I'm
lose
being
my
cheeky.
audio, what's that?
I said I'm being cheeky.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So anyway, as long as it's not interrupting, you can hear what I'm saying. Um, I'm putting a video together right now. You'll have to watch it later on when you have a chance. It's actually me cleaning out all the stuff in my truck that I'm not going to be using, like for food. Taking a walk into the Flying J over here, showing everybody how healthy it is to eat in there. Not. And that entire place, as a carnivore, because I am officially one now today, there's nothing in that Flying J. Would you believe it? There's nothing in there I can eat except one thing. Can you guess?
No, I possibly bacon.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say bottled water. I thought you were going to get cheeky.
Yeah.
They have
Well, yeah,
boiled
I guess
eggs.
they would have bottled water, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they're little cups of boiled eggs. There's like 4 eggs in a cup.
Oh, really? Okay.
Two for $7. That's the only thing I can eat in that whole place. They do have chicken, but it's barbecued and probably marinated. They have meatloaf, but you know what's going to be in that? It's going to be covered in ketchup or whatever else they have in there. So there's really nothing else I can eat in there. So I was trying to make a point. The reason why I went in there is I want to show them that I don't even know if you even have seen this. Excuse my hands. But you see up at the top there. See that
Oh,
thing
yeah.
up there? That's a double zone freezer.
Okay.
It's 50. It's 15 liters. So I can put a lot of food in there, and freeze it right to zero temperatures. So you'll
Nice.
see that. You'll see that in the video. The point I was trying to make is when you go out on the road, be prepared. have food with you, because when you're not, you're going to stop at places like this and you're going to eat whatever you can to get rid of that hunger, and now you've broken your diet.
Yeah. Well,
So
I mean, I think you're aware, but I don't know that anybody watching is. In fact, I'm sure they wouldn't be. But a lot of my family have quite a history in trucking. My dad was a trucker for many, many years. My brother has been a trucker and is still currently a trucker. And they've all done, across the United States, down to Mexico, across Canada. So big trips, long trips and stuff. And they're the first ones to say that that trucking lifestyle is not conducive to eating well. It can be a real challenge.
yeah, no, absolutely. Um, some guy just came up to my truck and showed me this. I'm invited to a Bible study. It's over there at 5:45. Isn't that funny?
That's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Some of these places have like a little chapel. So yeah, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this diet. You know what? I'm not sure what you think of this, but I was hoping that I'm going to maybe ask my sister if she wants to get involved. I got another friend involved, and if things go well for me and it starts to work well, I don't know. Would you guys consider doing it with me? Because it could be really beneficial.
Um, it's not one I ever really considered. Actually, a little tip off for you. So looking back, for about a year and a half, Chris and we went full vegan.
Yeah,
And when we did that, it was one of the rare times that I ever had natural weight loss. My energy level was way higher. And where I frequently, up to that point, I was constantly, very regularly dealing with just having little colds and flus and things like that. The entire time we did that, I was not sick once.
yeah,
And so it really worked well for us. And that was the whole thing. It's not to say that the carnivore thing doesn't work, but that truly, I really believe that different diets and different systems will work for different people because our physiologies are all just a little different. That one worked for me. So the tip off is in going to Israel, I am going with a fully fledged vegan, and we're staying in places where they have some pretty strict kosher regulations in using their kitchens and stuff. And really, the easiest way to just deal with being there with a vegan using a kosher kitchen or a kosher kitchen is for the duration of the trip, I'm going to do the vegan thing. So,
which is you're just going to eat vegetables.
yep.
That's
One
it.
of the one of the problems with vegetables and doing a vegan thing, because I think that that one can work as well, but it does have its hurdles because our our food supply chain nowadays is so corrupted with modified seeds and blah blah blah. The nutritional value that God put into this stuff originally in many cases
Yeah.
just isn't there anymore. So to me, if you're doing vegan, you need to, it's like, go ahead and do the vegan, but you need to supplement. And that's what we did last time, and that's what I'll be doing this time.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Just on the fact that a lot, like I said, a lot of the fruits and the veggies like that, it turns all into sugar. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing that. And like you said, it does depend on the person.
Yeah.
One thing may work well for someone. I love meat, and you know what? You can still cook meat and it'd be kosher, but it's pork or anything like that. That's going to be non-kosher. Or are you not allowed to eat meat at all in Israel?
No, you can eat meat. I mean, yeah, the pork stuff is a whole other thing. But the kosher thing is because there's very particular, keep in mind, these are Orthodox regulations, not necessarily biblical regulations. But that the food has to be slaughtered in a particular way. It has to be prepared in a certain way. One of the examples they give is that you can't combine meat and cheese or meat and dairy. So cheeseburgers effectively are forbidden. You can have a hamburger, just don't put cheese on it. You can
See,
have the hamburger and then eat the piece of cheese after.
talking about being bound by the law. My gosh.
Yeah, it's some really strict stuff. A little sneak preview at the video that I just did on Acts 15 kind of touches on that a little bit, where the Orthodox have introduced such strict prohibitive regulations that even they themselves do not keep, because it's that harsh. That you see, like Tel Aviv is an example where they say something like 80 something percent of the population of Tel Aviv are secular. And it's not, I don't know that it's a case of that they've all rejected God, but I think it's a case of that they're effectively non-practicing, because they may believe in God, but the regulations that they're expected to keep are so strict that they just, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's some things I wouldn't agree. I don't think it's against, I don't think God is going to shun on someone for having a cheeseburger.
No,
Um,
no,
but of them having the rules like that, I think they're going a little overboard on that. That's almost depressing to people, in my
more than
opinion.
a little.
Yeah, so but I can understand where you're going there because you're going there. So there's no conflict. Go vegan, right?
Yeah,
And you get home, have
I want to focus on other things, not pissing off the locals.
a
So it's like
That's right.
I'll be a little more accommodating to them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like when you get home, then you can have the steak about yay thick.
Yes.
Yeah, unless you're going to continue doing vegan or what.
And that's part of the thought is I'll see how the trip goes, but I've really been considering that. It's just difficult around here because in a household where we're feeding 6 people, I'm pretty much the only. I think Chris actually was kind of on board with it too, so she would probably do the vegan thing as well. But the two issues, and this is one reason why we stopped, is the two issues we were dealing with is nobody else in the house would eat that. And doing a vegan diet like that has a lot of prep to it. There's a lot of work to do it.
Okay, we're having a serious problem with this audio.
Yeah, you just cut out on me.
Okay, it might have cleaned up now. Um, Anybody that's noticing this, we do apologize. Did I say where I was? Yeah, Modesto, California. You're over on Campbell River,
Yeah.
over on Vancouver Island. So we're
Well,
we're a bit of a distance away here, and
we'll
we're
blame
just
it on
using.
AT&T and Rogers.
That's what AT&T I'm using. Yeah, so let's do that, shall we? Yeah, exactly. Well, you must be getting excited. You're leaving what next week?
Next weekend. Yep.
Wow,
So
right
I'll be
on.
heading out on Sunday.
Are you nervous?
I am, for
Little
numerous
tense
reasons.
about the flight?
Well, flying is not so much of a problem for me. Now, I've mentioned in a few videos that I have a real tendency to be, I think the way I phrased it was introverted to the point of being a recluse. I don't do crowded places or big crowds very well. So being crammed onto airplanes with people and stuff like that, it's a rather unpleasant experience for me. In order to get
Yeah.
there, have to go through it.
And how long of a flight is it? 10 hours or something?
It's about 10 hours. Well, there's two flights. So the one flight is about 4 hours and the other one's about 10 hours.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah, we're going from Vancouver to Frankfurt, Germany. And we have a few hour layover in Frankfurt and then Frankfurt to Tel Aviv. On the way back, we're going Tel Aviv to Montreal, and then Montreal back to
Oh
Vancouver.
wow. So you get to spend a little time in Germany. Hmm.
Yeah. I'm 51 years old and I have never been anywhere else other than Canada and the United States.
Yeah.
So that's another I'm nervous about. I've never been to Europe, Asia, anything like that. So it's a biggie.
Yeah. The furthest I've been is Mexico. Um, all over the U.S., but Mexico, and that's about it. I'd like to
Yeah.
go to Israel one day, and if I don't get a chance to do it in my lifetime, we'll be there in our eternity.
Yeah.
So
Eventually we're gonna be there.
eventually, I'm going to see it. Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, Scott. Um, yeah. Anything else? Oh, yeah. I'm going to try to get up later on today. part 2 of First John. It'll be chapter 2, a little bit longer than the first one. I think the first book or chapter 1's 10 verses, and I think the second chapter is like up to 30 something verses or something, or maybe a little bit longer. But a really, 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 really convicting, really good chapter. And like James being one of your favorite books, First John is definitely one of my favorite books.
Yeah, First John's up there on my list as well.
Yeah. So I'll be working on that later. You're going to be working on your video, and you'll be putting that out tomorrow. But I'll be releasing also my video on my other channel of my first day on my journey. It's going to have a little bit of humor to it. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of complaints about it that I'm stupid for what I'm doing, but hey, that's life.
You know what?
Try it, right?
It's your life, not theirs. And if it works for you, and it absolutely has the potential, right? Then more power to you. I really, I hope that it's very successful for you. I know you're a much bigger meat eater than I am, so that helps, I'm sure. I've never been a huge meat eater.
You've never been a huge meat eater?
No, I certainly eat it, but it's if I had a real vice, the closest I would say to a food addiction, it would be pastas.
Oh, see, that's one of the worst things you can eat too, right?
I know that's one thing I've been trying to cut down, even vegan, is just less pasta.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, I hope you keep an eye on what I'm doing regarding that. It'll be on my other channel, and
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for good things to happen out of that. And when you're gone, you're going to be leaving next week, right? Or is it on Saturday? You said when?
Next Sunday.
Sunday. Well, maybe we'll touch base with you on Saturday, the night before you leave, or maybe we'll leave you alone so you can prepare, and then we can get an update from you live when you're settled in, when you're there, and we'll just have to communicate back and forth with email.
Yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to doing a short little video on Saturday at some point.
Okay, well, maybe we can do that.
Yeah.
But we can still do this because you'll have Wi-Fi.
I have been told Wi-Fi is not as prolific there as it is here in North America. I am pretty sure that because we're staying at a couple of different Airbnbs, that both of them do have access to Wi-Fi. So that's kind of the big one, right? That I can go out, do what I'm doing during the day, get back to our place, and I can upload stuff and do whatever communications I need to do at that point.
Yeah. Or I mean, even when you get back to the to the hotel,
Well, that's the
we can do
Airbnb.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we can do something like this as well for about 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes. Maybe the second day you're there and you can share what your experience is like and let us make sure we know that the plane didn't crash.
Do a live video as as I'm going down. Well, this will be my final video, folks. We got about 45 seconds.
This will be my final video. Yeah, right. Yeah, it'll go viral too. All right, my friend. Well, because we have such a lousy connection, I don't really know how this is going to turn out, but maybe we should wrap it up while we still have a connection. And
Yeah.
why don't we just close with a quick prayer? I'll say a little bit, and then you can jump in there if you like. Dear Lord, thank you for this time together, and thank you, Lord, for all that you're doing in our lives. I ask you also, Lord, that you be with me on this new diet, and that you will help me succeed with this, and that it would do wonders for me. I also pray, too, that you would bless Adrian and his family this week, and help get him excited and prepared for his trip to the motherland. To your land, Lord, your land. It is your land over there. I mean, we know that this is your earth, obviously, but that's a special place, Lord, that even I would love to go because you were there. And anyway, thank you, Lord, for giving us this opportunity to be together. And I pray this in Yeshua's name.
In Yeshua's name. And Father, I just would like to truly, truly thank you for blessing me with this opportunity to be able to do this trip. It really came out of nowhere, and that in and of itself tells me that it's your hand at work. And I just thank you for working that I could have this opportunity. I really do pray as well, Father, that you would bless Ray and his diet journey, and that as he's going to be posting this, that it would be potentially a blessing to someone else, and it may benefit them as well. And I thank you for my family. I thank you for my home and my friends and everyone that you've put into my life. I consider them all a blessing to me, and I thank you for all of those presences. And most of all, I absolutely do, Father, just thank you for our salvation and our Messiah, Yeshua. Without him and without that sacrifice, we wouldn't be here making any of these videos. We wouldn't be doing any diets. We wouldn't be doing anything. So truly, truly thank you for all of that. In Yeshua's name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, my friend. We'll be in touch throughout the week. Looking forward to your video tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom.
See you later, buddy.
All right. Have a good one.